One message for you two from your aunt. She will bust both of them in the head. Can y'all hear me?
Not rocket science,
I think you, like me, have a face for radio.
Can y'all hear me?
We gonna play with the players we got. Next man up.
That's why it sucks.
I'm not talking to you.
I'm not talking to you.
This kind of unprofessionalism does not need to be tolerated. I mean it. Like,
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
what the hell is going on here? Just all hang up.
Another episode of the BS Podcast.
Hang on. Hang on.
Moran.
Hang on. There's all kinds of noise in my ear now.
Oh, jeez.
We need a little bit more professionalism.
Roll Tide, everybody. Quincy Moran here, host of the BS Podcast, live after Alabama beats Vanderbilt 30-14. I want to welcome Austin Dash onto the stage as well. AD, what's up, brother?
What's up?
It's a good day in T-Town, is it not?
It is. It is a great day.
I agree. Lots to talk about here. We are in the hunt for Coach DEBOER's press conference, which we will bring you live when it shows up. Good shout out to Brandon Phillips. Hey, roll Tide, brother. Roll Tide.
Not the baseball player.
Not the baseball player. Yeah, comment below if you guys want to be featured on the show. Just put a comment down there below. What do you think about Alabama's defense? What are your thoughts for those of you watching the program? Give me some feedback. Defensive line, linebackers, secondary. Boy, I tell you what, Austin, that first few series, Alabama did not look great defensively.
No.
We came out pretty flat.
Well, yep, I agree. Didn't fit those runs well, which has been our issue on the outside. But, the second half, we stepped up. I saw a stat a minute ago, and it blew my mind because you don't think about some things like yards when you're watching the game. Do you know how many rushing yards Vanderbilt had in the second half?
In the second half, I do not.
13.
13 rushing yards.
13 in the second half.
How many points did they score in the second half? Was that a big fat zero?
Yeah.
A big fat zero, ladies and gentlemen. Alabama.
I'm telling you. And, we hurt ourselves in the red zone on offense. That is what it is. It was poor execution. I didn't understand some of the play calls. We tried to be a little cute at times. So, it is what it is. But, without those couple sacks, this game is over quicker. But, kudos to our offense for driving the ball the length of the field and taking off like 8 minutes.
Absolutely.
Off the clock. I mean, that was impressive. And shout out to Caden Proctor. Now he's got rushing stats.
He sure does. He's
not just a receiver, folks.
Let's see what we can do. Having a little trouble getting the press conference to come up here. Hopefully, Coach DEBOER. Hopefully, we see that pretty soon. I got it on Tide Watch right now. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us live, it's obvious that you probably know by now. Alabama beats Vanderbilt. Do I sound overly excited? Yes. Should I? I'm not sure. But there's a lot of trash talking even before the game. A little gesture by Diego Pavia just to try to rub salt in the wound. And boy, they really came out and performed well. Alabama, has their first turnover of the year. Ty throws a pass for some reason, who knows? But throws a bad pass, and the next thing you know, they go down and score, and then Alabama is on their heels. And I'm like, man, this is not what we're looking at. The next play, the next drive, I think even was ugly. So I'm interested to see what Coach DEBOER has to say. And there's a lot to talk about, especially on the Monday show when we go over the stats.
Yeah.
Man, extremely proud of the defense, much more proud. Roll Tide and Cindy, Roll Tide.
We had I'm impressed that we had about 130, 140 yards rushing.
Yeah.
So that was amazing. But I mean, kudos to Kane Womack.
Wait a minute. What did you just say?
I know. I can't believe that I said it. If you'd asked me in the first half, would Alabama shut out Vandy? I was like, I would definitely not have said yes, because we just didn't look good. And kudos to Vandy. Their offense, the wrinkles that they have, that little shovel pass just makes me want to run into a wall. In the second half they didn't call that, which was wild, but we fit it better. It seemed like everybody knew their assignments better.
Be a part of the tradition. And
So,
I appreciate you keeping that tradition going.
Kudos to the guys that make big plays.
Let's see. Roll Tide.
All right, let's see what we got. Hopefully we can looks like there's an issue with the file, so I'll keep an eye on that. But I agree with you, Austin. It's we got to give Kane Womack a little bit of credit. It frustrates the heck out of me that we have such a challenge getting off the field on third down, and they just continue to do it. But here's something that I will say, and I'll have to go back and review, the information. Something I'll say is that we seem to be evolving and getting better at halftime and making adjustments. We didn't score last week, but this week we did put points on the board and we shut Vanderbilt out, which is impressive. I mean, it's just really impressive.
Yeah, and I mean, in reality, without miscues on offense, we put up 14 in the second half, and this is over in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating. But I think some of it was Ty trying to do too much. Him trying to make a play when, like that sack he took when Jeremy Bernard come across his face and that guy grabbed him. I mean, you got to throw that at Jeremy Bernard's feet. I mean, that just is what it is. That play's dead.
Yeah, you got to throw it through the end zone,
But I get it. You're a competitor, and I'll take a competitor all day, every day. That's just what comes with it. The difference is he didn't make mistakes to lose the game like PAVIA did. PAVIA's a playmaker too, and when he forced things, it didn't work out for him. So at least the worst thing we got was field goals.
I think one of the stories of the game tonight too is Alabama's ability to create turnovers at very, very key times. And I think that had,
if not for a goofy penalty by Gomer Powell and his group of referees.
Yeah. Oh, wow, Bill, welcome to the studio, sir. Great to have you in. Love to know what your thoughts are on what I'm in the hunt for Coach DeBoer's press conference, so I'll be over here in the background. You guys take it away.
Well, I thought it was a great team win. They showed some heart, showed some fight, showed some guts up front. And we finally made some adjustments on our defense coming out after halftime.
Yeah.
And, but I was proud of the way that they played. To me, they played with class and everything, and they upheld the Bama standard. But Ty played a very good game. We saw a couple of decisions that he made, but that's just part of growing into the position over time. And McElroy even made reference to it, like taking that sack, just throw the ball away.
Right. Yeah, that's what I said. You got to throw that to Bernard's feet.
Well, or Greg McElroy said, put it 15 rows up in the stands.
Also, screw Greg McElroy.
No.
Yes.
But you know, and there was
He can
Roll
go hang out with
Tide.
Pavia, and he
Jack,
can go hang out with
Scott
Pavia and his
Jr.,
mother.
thanks for here we go. Here we go. Let's
Here we
mute
go.
up. Let's get Coach DeBoer.
Yep. Just really proud of these guys, the resiliency throughout the game, the resiliency of the season, and just you know, the way it starts, you know, and just with the way they responded time and time again. Wasn't a perfect game by any means. That's a well-coached team that we faced there with Coach Lee. Does a great job there, and you know, just I thought we played, you know, hard-nosed. Love the way we finished the game. You know, the second half, just controlling really the line of scrimmage more and more as the game went on both sides of the ball. And, you know, I think we held them to 20 some yards really over the last probably 3 quarters rushing. And so I'm really proud of the way that the guys responded. And again, it just goes back to doing your job. Our guys did a great job just coming to practice and focusing on us. I think that's been a huge theme for us here on this run we're on, and the momentum we're continuing to gain. There's a confidence between offense and defense that the other side will come through when it matters most. And so, again, it wasn't perfect by any means, but proud of the way we responded and continue to fight all game long.
Yeah, Coach, just how good was it to be able to kind of run on the lean on the run game late, especially with Jam and the way he played?
Yeah, it really was. It's huge. You know, it takes a lot of pressure off the play calling, and obviously Ty too, when every play doesn't have to be a pass or a protection, you know, and just good to see Jam out there doing his thing, breaking loose, and bigger chunks, right? Bigger chunks. And I still feel like between the line and the tailbacks, there's still a few more opportunities that we can improve on, and we need to keep taking the next step in the run game. But I thought it was something we worked on a lot. We knew we were getting closer last week, and I feel like we again took another step this week.
Yeah, that's 2 straight games where you guys have taken punches and kept punching back, kind of thing. How do you think, or what do you think has led you guys turning a corner in that your ability to do that?
Mm-hmm. Just really understanding when it first happened, week 1, that there's 1 of 2 things you can do. You know, you can just take it, or you can fight back. And if you know, are who we are, and we really believe that we have a good football team, then, you know, we should only have one option, and that's just to get everything we got and leave it all on the football field. And that's what these guys are doing. And, you know, the defense is just doing a good job of making sure that they force the offense, the opposing offense, to play another play, right? Line up. You see the drives. I mean, there was 2 turnovers in the red zone, really. And so, you know, forcing them to play another play and just making them earn it. And then, you know, our guys, again, I mean, we are kind of getting that feeling of takeaways, you know. I think like what we did last year, it's starting to come back to us, and the physicality now on top of that I felt we brought today. Again, I thought it was a positive step for our defense.
Could you speak to the short yardage carry for Caden Proctor? And last week you mentioned the pass had been in since fall camp. Has this been in since camp too?
Not as long. Less moving parts on this one. Just give it to the big man and let him rumble. So he did a great job. I mean, it's just hard to bring down a guy that's that size and that athletic. So happy that he did a good job handling the football and securing it. You know, that's not something he does as much as the other guys, and it's a big moment in the game. So love the idea to put the call in. Love the play call, and good execution.
How did that first possession coming out of the half kind of set the tone for what the defense was going to do in the second half, shutting out Vanderbilt?
Really key. You know, one thing I think we've done a good job here as of late until today was coming out of the locker room to start the game defensively, and that didn't happen. You know, it didn't happen at the level that we wanted. The first quarter, giving up a couple runs and you know, giving them some life. And so really coming back out of the locker room, I was really proud of the way the defense, and there definitely was some adjustments that I know we made in the second to third quarter there that led to, you know, what we're doing. And that's part of plan A and plan B and plan C that you have when you're working throughout the week. You put those things in and you have them ready to go, and you got to change it up, right? Because you got good players on the other side too that are and coaches that are going to attack you if you just sit in the same thing. So I thought, again, our guys, understanding the other parts of the game plan and then going and execute it, I was really proud of it.
What do you think of the offensive line in terms of pass protection and how Ty sort of dealt with the pressure when it was in his face?
Yeah, I think a little bit of both. I think Ty could have thrown it away a few times, just a couple lessons learned there. I thought we were better last week probably with as much as we were getting. And some of it's one-on-ones. I think that's really what a lot of it probably was when we watched the film, but I haven't seen it in that detail. So yeah, having him in his face, it backed up, it kills a drive. We have to punt and gives them good field position. So, there's things that you improve on and there's things that you just gotta, I don't think it was awful, but I think that it definitely could have been better. And so sometimes you just got to live with throwing it away too. And, we have enough threats as long as we're not way behind the chains. We feel we can convert the third down to 10s, the third down to 12s. When we start getting past, 14, 15 yards, obviously there's less and less plays in the playbook and a lot more defensive opportunities for them to just sit back and, give you a few yards and then make you punt.
Hey, Kalen. Wondering, was there a mindset shift or something different after, I think Vanderbilt had about 113 rushing yards in that first quarter? Was there a conversation had with the defense kind of heading into the final three, or what kind of shifted there?
Yeah, I think we just, the one explosive that they had that, probably the longest run I think that they had, we just got to do a better job holding sometimes it's not a whole thing. Sometimes it's just the two guys got their ground, and be more physical and understand where the help's at and, the angles. So it's just a better job of execution that we need to have. And I think, again, it's the guys believing that if we just execute, the game will come to us and we'll make those plays. And, that's really what they did is they just still honed in on doing their part and knowing that the rest of the guys were going to rally. And that's what we did. I felt like we really kept the option stuff under control. They hit a play action there in the fourth quarter, on the third down that got behind us a little bit. But again, I thought the guys did a good job with their eyes. The discipline was going to be a big thing that way. Thought we took some good steps against an offense that has a lot of wrinkles, things that they'll show you.
A couple questions on the back right. Kalen, Diego was such a big factor last year. He had the one, I think, 36-yard run, but you guys bottled him up. Otherwise, what was the plan to try to contain him?
Yeah, a lot of the discipline, and the hardest ones are when he takes off and runs and then still keeps his eyes downfield and you're drawn to him. You come off your man, whether it's zone, especially in zones. And I know he got a couple first downs that way where he just, flipped it out there. So again, everyone's just, you got to contain, and that's easier said than done. He gets out in space and they do a good job moving the pocket. So he's not just sitting back there. And then they got enough other threats and they get rid of it quick. The option game and all of that, they got good personnel besides him.
Kevin, quarterbacks are such magnets anyway, but could you talk about the confidence this team has now, or has had really, in Ty and the way he's played and certainly in big downs?
Yeah, we do. And you can feel it that we're making. We're we're aggressive. We're backed up in our own territory and throwing the ball down the field with some play action and, shots. Ryan catches one down the right sideline there. And when you can do those things and you trust your quarterback as a play caller, and he makes those plays, there is a lot of confidence. I think, we still haven't hit our full swing here like I think we're capable of as an offense, especially with finishing drives. But there's no doubt that I think our defense sees what we can do offensively. And now, it's a little bit of a balance too, where the offense sees what the defense can do if they just continue to stay the course and do a good job. The adjustments, the physicality continues to get better and better as a football team. I love the way we compete right now.
The two timeouts, even before they scored, before the half, how much of that is gut by you, or is there a book you look at? And how important was that drive that you saved time for before the half?
Yeah, it was huge. It was huge. And, you're playing the percentages, right? You're playing the percentages to just give yourself as much opportunity. You're letting them get a good play call, and it goes both ways. And they did a nice job of scoring, but you're playing the percentages that you're going to have as much time as possible. And with our offense, again, getting into something like that, we did. I'm really proud of the fight and just the belief to go down the length of the field in a short amount of time like we had. So that's that happens in practice. We call it clutch, 2-minute drill every single week. And we did it a lot in fall camp. And there's a lot of opportunities that I think our system allows for whatever you call, it's probably going to be wrong. And so the guys are understanding that. Ty's understanding. You can see some of those windows that he's starting to hit. I love how we're going not just in the middle of the field now, but we hit some balls down the outside. So, defense got to cover the entire field, short, long, sideline to sideline.
Just building kind of off that, you had great play from the wide receivers today, Ryan, Jeremy, and Isaiah. Ryan kind of improvising on the rollout, and then Jeremy finishing that 2-minute drive. Just can you talk about the impact of those wide receivers, how they're really progressing?
Yeah, they're competitors. They all have a little something different. I mean, there's a ton of overlap on their skill sets. I think they can all do things with the ball, but you see Isaiah going up, just big, tall target, and just grabbing the ball out of the air in between safeties and corners and along the sideline. He's done that a number of times now. That's awesome for a quarterback to have that. And so as a group, it isn't just those three. Latsier and Rico, caught a nice ball over the middle today. Just the guts, the pride that group has in each other, and as a unit to go out there and keep getting better. They push each other in practice. That's what's cool to see. And they're good friends. They all want to be out there, but it's a healthy competition, much like we've talked about at other positions. So great job by those guys. Find a way to get explosives. Really, a 3rd and extra long, we still believe we can convert it. And we don't want to be in those spots, but I feel like we're calling plays. They're going to make the catch. And if you come after us and get singled up, that's an opportunity right there too.
Coach, what's the next step that needs to develop in this offense to become that complete offense that you're envisioning?
Just keep getting better in all the things that I feel, the run game, finishing drives, the couple times now, the last couple of weeks, just finishing drives when we get those spots. So, and this also understanding what our strengths are. I know we had a turnover today. They're early, but just taking care of the football. That is a huge piece of our success. We're not putting the defense in very many tough positions. And so just make sure our strengths are our strengths and keep bringing the things that we know we got to get better at along.
Kalen, hey, what was the week like with the team, but specifically with Ty emotionally, just knowing there was going to be some noise coming out of the other side and things like that? How did you want him to get caught up in that, or did you not want him to? What was the mentality there?
Well, there's enough to where, and it's not just this week, right? There's enough to where you can't help but hear it. I can hear it in the questions we get asked, in press conferences and with y'all and stuff. And so, it's out there. And the thing I'm really proud of, this is what I talk to the guys about. Our guys right now are just showing up and doing the work. That's what's got us to this point. And I just keep reminding them, and it gets really tempting. And I'm sure there'll be something, something that pops up, but they're doing a really good job of just showing up and doing the work and focusing on us. And, this is what you get. You get these games that are going to go 4 quarters in the SEC. I showed them a stat. I think you guys probably find something where I'm wrong on this, but I believe there was 12 games going into this weekend. I think 8 of them were 7 points or less. The other 2 were 10 points or less. These guys, won big at South Carolina, but these games are going to go down the wire. And so I just love the way that our thought process and our mindset is that you got to be in it for 4 quarters. We've used the analogy of a 15 round heavyweight fight, and that's what it's got to be every single week. We got to go do that again this next week against Missouri. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Coach Kalen DEBOER after Alabama's 30-14 victory over the Vanderbilt Commodores. I'll go to each one of you guys for a quick thought, and then we'll wrap this up. We're really looking forward to having everybody show up for Monday's show when we bring the full scale. But Austin, talk to me about what you heard from Coach DeBoer that stood out that got you excited.
I mean, I just what we're going to do offensively. I mean, if we nail this down and really buckle down on execution, the way this defense is playing, it's just going to be crazy. And I mean, our question coming into this was, could the defense step up? Could they stop Vanderbilt? And they did that again this week, picking up the offense when the offense struggled at times. So, we've had some tough fought games the last few weeks, and, that's what builds you. That's what builds a championship team. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. And, Josh, our concern is that it felt like the defense and the offense, so to speak, came out kind of flat in the first quarter against Vanderbilt. What are your thoughts after listening to Coach DeBoer? What did you like?
Well, he basically said everything that we saw, but we kind of magnituded everything because of last year's game. We were down 10 at halftime last year, and this year they had 14 at half. We tied the game, and they didn't score after half. So we were micromanaging the defense, but if you look at what happened in the second half, they had 0 points, and we had turnovers and timely times of the game. That doesn't sound right, but that's exactly what it was when we needed them. Our D stepped up and got big turnovers when we needed it, and kind of shut them up. And I would like to grab my nutsack for Diego Pavia and sling it towards him, because him and his mama can go to hell. No offense.
Yeah, I'm not looking to send them to hell. I think they're going through a lot already because they got beat by Alabama in Tuscaloosa. So, Wild Bill,
people
what did
can't
you hear
say offensive things and then go, no offense. I've always loved how people use that. Like,
It's
no
like
offense,
that.
but you're ugly.
It's like that episode of the Moran Brothers where I smack Josh around, beat him up, and knock him on the ground, and then I say LOL, and it just wipes everything away. Like it doesn't.
He literally grabbed his nutsack to our student section after his last warm up.
I saw that, but
He did. He did indeed.
Yeah.
All right, Wild Bill. What are your thoughts on what you heard from Coach DeBoer?
Well, I wonder if he grabbed him when he left the stadium.
If he was trying to see if they were still there because we took his freaking manhood.
Just what we've been talking about. Run game. They're establishing the run game.
Dan Miller looks like a freaking gangster right now.
Yeah,
I was waiting for him to break a long one, but
I made reference to Josh there toward the end of the game. I think it was after he scored that touchdown. I said, Josh, look at those guns on J.M. Miller as he's coming off the field. Look at
They
those
are big.
guns.
They are big. We got a tough test coming up though against Missouri though.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I was proud of the defense stepped up. It looked like, oh gosh, here we go again.
Yep, I felt the same way, and
they stepped up. So we're progressing. 74 ain't bad with the ball in his hand.
The great thing about that is they knew it was coming and they still couldn't stop it before the first down. So,
but I'm sure that they'll look at the film and Kyle see there's 3 or 4 bad decisions that he made. But like we say, that's his first year being the starting quarterback. So I was proud of him. We won. We shut him up.
Indeed.
God, let's see. Did we take the goalpost down and take them to Warrior River?
No.
No.
It'll be a long ride back to Nashville.
I will say Missouri's undefeated, and we beat the hell out of them last year. 31-0, and now we're coming to their place. So that's a tough game.
Y'all didn't see the goalpost floating down the Black Warrior River?
Not yet.
They're still in Bryant Denny Stadium.
Yep.
Enough said.
Yeah, truly. And I look at our team, and Josh had to quell my concerns in the second half because I think I was still stuck in the first half, first few drives for Vanderbilt. And eventually he goes, dude, what's going on in the second half? We have shut them out. I look at the scoreboard. I look at the way that we are shutting, Vanderbilt down. It became a bend, don't break defense. And then we started taking the ball away. Your boy here called 2 turnovers right when they happened. Josh is my witness to that. So
That did happen.
So I'm proud. I look at Coach DEBOER and his demeanor. The demeanor of the football team has changed. I think he's coming into his own. This is what he knew was possible, and so I'm proud of him for evolving. You see more energy now from Coach DEBOER. You see more fire now from Coach DEBOER than you have ever. And I would like to think it is the video that I put out that was a call to action. What do you say, Austin?
It was totally you, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, I thought so.
Hey, can I say one other thing right quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Two class things that I saw. When Ryan Williams dropped that pass on third down,
that was
sitting on the bench, Ty Simpson went over there, patted him on the head, talked to him. But then when the boy from Bandy got on the kickoff, got the unsportsmanlike conduct, Coach Lee took him. First he was mad, but then it showed him again over on the sideline, coaching him, telling him.
Yeah, that was impressive.
I thought both of those was class moves.
Man, I'll kick that coach in his nuts.
Hey, I loved it.
That, to me, that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Correct.
I hate him.
I'm Austin.
We won, that's all that mattered.
Austin, as we start to wrap this up, I've got to applaud the resiliency of this football team because it was in question after that Florida State game. And looking at what they've been through the last couple of weeks, they did start out flat. Maybe they were just very apprehensive as a team because they knew that PAVIA not only talks smack, but he can back that smack up.
Yeah.
And I applaud the resiliency of this team. It doesn't look like they panicked. They just slowly took the game over, put them in a chokehold, and put those guys to sleep at Vanderbilt. Your final thoughts, Austin Dash?
Well, 2 weeks in a row, when your back's against the wall, when it's looking like the other team is going to score and take the lead, you stand up and say, I think we'll take the ball back instead.
Yes, sir.
So, that's what really sticks out to me. I mean, I'm going to be honest. After that tight end leaked out, and they were driving, I was like, "Oh, here we go. They're about to take the lead." And then a huge play by Keon Sad, and it's just like that first drive when they get down close, and I see that ball come loose. I was like, "How have we done that?" So, that's the definition of resilience is. The difference in now and what we saw in the Florida State game. Alabama's throwing punches back.
Yes, I totally agree. And Josh, I got to tell you, man, I'm proud of this defense. I'm also proud of the offense, though. They had some struggles. Ty did not start off hot. He threw his first interception of his career at Alabama, first turnover of the year. But that man stood up, and he is a real dude. Some of those throws that he was making, Josh was pointing out how they're NFL-style throws. As he's running, he stops, hits a foot, and then just pitches the ball right down the field.
What we have with him, I told Amber this. I said, on that play right there, Jalen Milroe would have ran for 2 or 3 yards, and then that would have been it. Ty, it's like he's going to run it. He stops, makes a defender miss, and throws for 30 yards down the field. So, I mean, he looked very good. I mean, even with the mistakes, he's definitely making NFL throws across the middle. That's uncommon for a college quarterback to throw across the middle like he has.
Yeah, that touchdown pass too, Josh, that he threw to Jeremy Bernard, just dumped it right over in between a couple guys. That was Madden-esque. Your final thoughts, Josh, as we crash this out.
First off, I would like to say, is Austin a wrestler? Because he has a toothpick in.
It's a
Are
sucker.
Are you Razor Ramon?
It's a snack.
Oh wow. Okay. What flavor?
Watermelon.
Dum Dum, right? Because that's the only kind you eat. Ayo.
Okay.
So basically, I'd say this year we won the turnover battle, and last year they won it. And if you look at it, I think that's the difference in the game. Because I think we turned it over three times last year, maybe 4, and they had 3 turnovers, or maybe 4 this year. Because it was 3 picks and 1 fumble.
2 picks and a fumble. The last one got taken back.
Right. So you win the turnover game. You can beat a team like Vandy that likes to slow the game down, go on long methodical drives. They know what they're going to do. They did what they were going to do, but we had great turnovers and timely times, and that was the difference in the game to me. But we got another
coming up next week. Missouri ain't no.
And they're undefeated. They got a bye week before next week when we play them. It's at 11 a.m. at their spot. We better come ready to play.
We possessed the ball for 40 minutes, by the way.
Yeah.
Which is what they did last year. So that's
yeah.
nice.
So we turned. Yeah. That was 2 things then: the time of possession and the turnovers, because that's what killed us last year.
This is definitely a different team. All right, Wild Bill, your final thoughts?
Just keep working. Keep working. Keep working. Like Josh said, 11 o'clock, they undefeated. We kicked their rear ends last year. It'll be crazy up there.
They're going to be ready, man.
We're going to be ready too.
Yes,
I think so.
So, roll tide.
Playing at 11 is harder on the home team than the
We don't
away
have
team.
to worry about Texas. We don't have to worry about Penn State. They both out of the mix for anything. So
Arch Manning sucks.
He's not doing too well.
I want to just take one moment and hopefully before the show on Monday, I can just I can frame a text for the program that has to do with a one man named Dylan Lonergan versus Ty Simpson.
Oh my God!
I got to tell you.
Hey, wait a minute. Throw Eli Holstein in there too. Oh, he's on the bench.
Hey, Dylan's on a team that sucks.
Well, we are proud to have Ty Simpson on our football team.
Very much so.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this episode of Instant Reaction in the BS Podcast. Make sure you check us out on Monday at 5:30 Central Time. Get your comments in. We will look and see who had the best pick and goes ahead in the leaderboard. We will check that out. Also, I want to leave you with this.
24.
I want to leave you with that call to action, Coach Cameron DeBoer. And after this, we will see you again on Monday. For Austin Dash, for Joshua S. Moran, for Wild Bill, I'm Quincy Moran, a.k.a. the QDAWG. And this is the BS Podcast. Roll Tide, everybody.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
You know, just a couple things before I turn it over to Josh real quick, because I know he's got a comment he wants to make. You can be a nice guy, but you can also still bring the thunder. And I know that. I know that for a fact. And just in my own life and my own development, of course, I have never coached at the level of the University of Alabama. Maybe I've not had that kind of pressure, but God knows that in my life, in real life, I've had significant amounts of pressure. And the reason I'm even going to talk about it is because you do have the ability to grow outside of yourself and become what the moment needs. How do I know that? Because I have done that. Obviously, it's by the grace of God. It's by a lot of hard work, and it's about choosing the mental fortitude and becoming who you want to be. And he has the goods. But in this particular situation, when it comes to the University of Alabama and the expectations, this man has the framework to get the job done. But what got him here is not going to get him to where he wants to go with this program. Because he's got to embrace something that he may never had to have done before. It's a new version of who he is. And Coach Saban had to do that on some levels whenever he was coaching, because he had a system and a process, and he was forced to evolve when offenses changed in college football and in the SEC. So that's where DeBoer finds himself. I was not built to stand face to face, with neurosurgeons and advocate and fight and push back and demand that my daughter gets brain surgery. But you have to embrace the moment. I wasn't built to sit in front of the two people that sexually abused my kids, but you have to embrace the moment. I wasn't built for many of these things, for autism, for seizures, etc. And that's real life. And for him, this is real life. This is the program. It's the future of his coaching staff. It's the families that are connected. It's the boys that are there that want to be professional football players. He has to rise to the moment, and he can. Mm-hmm. He has what it takes. And he's a great coaching staff around him. And I say that too about Ty, because we want the good guys to win. Yeah. But he's got to execute. Josh, I'll turn it over to you. What did you want to say?
That was a lot. It's going to be hard to top that.
One message for you from your aunt. She will bust both of you in the head. Can y'all hear me?
Not rocket science,
I think you, like me, have a face for radio.
Can y'all hear me?
We gonna play with the players we got. The next man up.
That's why it sucks.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
This kind of unprofessionalism does not need to be tolerated. I mean it.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
What the hell is going on here? Just all hang up.
Another episode of the BS Podcast.
Hang on.
Moran.
Hang on. There's all kinds of noise in my ear now.
Oh, jeez.
We need a little bit more professionalism.